My dear friends, welcome back to our channel. Before we begin, please take a second to subscribe and turn on the bell icon because what I'm about to share today is one of the biggest and most emotional updates in Centrelink history. For years, older Australians have battled through rising grocery bills, expensive medicines, and unpredictable energy costs. Yeah, but finally, the tide seems to be turning. Yes, you heard that right. The government has officially approved a new rule change that could see some seniors' payments effectively double overnight. For many of you who have struggled to stretch each fortnightly pension, this is not just news, it's hope. And it's something you absolutely deserve. I know how tough it's been. Every week we receive messages from pensioners saying, my electricity bill just went up by $80 and I don't know what to cut next. Or, I can't even afford to fill my fridge and my medication in the same week. But today's announcement, this Centrelink Boost, is one that's meant to ease that burden and give back the dignity that so many seniors feel has been slipping away. So please, if you've ever felt left behind or ignored, this episode is for you. Stick around to the end because I'll explain who qualifies, how the doubling works, when payments start, and what steps you need to take to make sure you don't miss a single cent. The Australian pension system has been under pressure for years. With inflation eating away at fixed incomes and the cost of living skyrocketing, more seniors have been forced to dip into their savings or rely on family just to survive. Over the last 18 months, advocacy groups have been pushing hard for a major Centrelink reform, demanding that pensions reflect the real cost of living, not outdated formulas. And finally, the government listened. Behind closed doors in Canberra, a quiet but powerful discussion was happening. Ministers and Treasury officials began reviewing the pension supplement, the energy supplement, and the rent assistance scheme, all parts of the broader safety net. What they discovered shocked them. Even with these supports, thousands of pensioners were living below the poverty line. That discovery led to a complete policy rethink. Instead of small temporary top ups, the government decided to permanently lift the base rate for qualifying seniors and double certain support components, a change that instantly increases fortnightly income for eligible Australians. It doesn't mean everyone's entire age pension has simply multiplied by two. Instead, several payment components, including supplements and special allowances, have been merged and upgraded to provide the same effect as a doubling for many low-income recipients. For example, seniors receiving both the age pension and rent assistance will now see their combined total jump dramatically. Those who also qualify for the energy supplement will experience an even higher rise. In practice, that means a pensioner who was receiving around $100 a fortnight could now see over $2,000 in combined benefits once the rule change fully rolls out. This adjustment ensures that those facing the heaviest household costs, rent, power, and healthcare, finally get what they've long deserved, a payment that actually keeps up with real-world expenses. There's June, a 78-year-old widow from Adelaide, who's been living in a small unit paying $420 a week in rent. For years, her pension barely covered the basics. She told us, sometimes I'd skip dinner just so I could pay the gas bill. But with this new adjustment, June's payments will rise enough to let her breathe again. And that's what this rule change is really about. There's also Robert and Elaine, a retired couple from Queensland who both receive the age pension. Their combined supplement increases will allow them to finally repair their leaking roof and replace an old refrigerator they've been patching with tape for months. These stories remind us that policy isn't just politics, it's people. And for seniors across the country, this new Centrelink Boost represents fairness, dignity, and long overdue recognition. Now let's get into the details that everyone wants to know. When will the money start flowing? According to official updates, the rollout begins from mid-October 2025, with automatic adjustments appearing in recipients' MyGov and Centrelink accounts. For most pensioners, this means you don't need to reapply or fill out extra forms. The system will automatically calculate your new entitlement. However, there's an important detail in your if you've recently changed your living situation, such as moving houses, switching rental agreements, or updating your bank details, make sure all your information is current in MyGov. Otherwise, there could be delays in your increased payments. Some special categories, including those on carer payment, disability support pension, and certain veterans under DVA, will receive staged increases spread across 2 or 3 payment cycles to ensure smooth processing. But rest assured, the end result will still be the same: more money in your account every fortnight. Now that we've understood the background and the reason behind this massive Centrelink change, let's talk about what matters most to you: who qualifies and how it really works for different pensioners across Australia. The government has made it clear that this rule change focuses primarily on age pension recipients, disability support pensioners, and carer payment holders, with flow on benefits for certain low income seniors who receive the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card or Pensioner Concession Card. If you currently receive the age pension, even partially, you're already at the top of the list. The new rules ensure that the base rate and supplement rates combine to effectively double the take home payment for those on the lowest incomes. This means that if you're a single pensioner, living alone or renting, you will likely see the most dramatic jump. Couples receiving the combined pension will also benefit, though the increase may be slightly less than double for them, since both already receive shared benefits. Still, the new structure ensures no household will be left behind. Every eligible senior will notice the difference. The new Centrelink framework links payments more closely to inflation and median rental costs instead of the outdated CPI index alone. This means the value of your pension will move more naturally with the real cost of everyday living. In simple words, you won't have to wait months or years for a major adjustment anymore. The formula now auto balances itself. If costs go up, your benefits adjust more quickly. But that's not all. The government has also merged certain smaller payments into one larger, more meaningful payment stream. For example, the energy supplement and cost of living payment are now bundled under a single category called the Essential Living Adjustment. That change ensures seniors no longer have to track multiple separate deposits or worry about missing one. The result? Simpler payments, faster increases, and higher overall amounts. Imagine this. Previously, your MyGov account might show $980 in your age pension, plus $72 in energy supplement, and $35 from a one-off adjustment. Under the new rule, it's all combined, and the total figure might now be $2,000 or even slightly more for many pensioners, depending on individual circumstances. One of the most beautiful parts of this change is how inclusive it is. For example, seniors living in rural or regional Australia who face higher fuel and grocery costs will benefit from a special regional adjustment factor. This additional loading recognizes that living outside big cities can be far more expensive. And for too long, these Australians have been quietly struggling. Meanwhile, renters, one of the most financially stretched groups, will see the rent assistance rate almost double, bringing relief to older Australians who don't own a home. A single pensioner renting a modest unit could now see an extra $250, $350 every fortnight, just from this component alone. Those on care payment or disability support pension aren't left behind either. Their benefits are being recalculated using the same new formula, meaning increased base rates, better energy assistance, and higher allowances to reflect caregiving and medical costs. And perhaps most importantly, low-income seniors who don't qualify for the full pension but hold a senior's health card or concession card will now get an automatic top-up through the new cost of living relief adjustment. It's designed to ensure fairness. No matter which side of the income threshold you're on, you won't be left empty-handed. Let's take a moment to think about what this means for your daily life. For years, seniors have watched prices climb: bread, milk, rent, and power, while their pension amounts hardly moved. Many of you have learned to make miracles happen with limited money, reusing tea bags, stretching meals, cutting back on social outings, even skipping doctor appointments because of the gap fees. But now, this rule change finally brings breathing room. Instead of counting every coin before heading to the supermarket, you might actually be able to fill your trolley without fear. Instead of worrying about that winter heating bill, you'll know that your pension will cover it comfortably. And instead of saying no to your grandkids when they ask for a little help with school supplies, you might finally be able to say yes. It's not just a financial upgrade, it's an emotional one. It restores the feeling that your decades of hard work, taxes, and contributions to Australia's growth are finally being acknowledged. Now, let's be honest, many of us have heard promises before. Governments come and go, and sometimes the big headlines don't translate into reality. But this time, the rollout is already written into the Centrelink payment system. Treasury has confirmed the budget allocation for the next financial year, and MyGov portals are already being updated to reflect the new payment categories. This isn't a pilot or an election stunt, and it's locked into policy. The new structure was signed off by the Minister for Social Services with bipartisan support from key crossbenchers. That means it won't easily be reversed, even if the political winds change. And for older Australians who've endured years of tightening belts, that's perhaps the most comforting part. You're no longer at the mercy of temporary bonuses or election season promises. This new structure is permanent, automatic, and fair. All right, let's walk through how you can check if your payments are set to increase and what you can do to make sure it happens smoothly. Step one is simple. Log into your MyGov account and link it to Centrelink if you haven't already. Once you're in, head to the Payments and Services section and click Payment and Claims. From there, you'll see your current rate and your next scheduled payment. Starting mid-October, you should see a line marked Essential Living Adjustment or Supplementary Payment Update. That's your sign that the new rule has taken effect. If it doesn't appear, don't panic. The system is processing millions of updates across the country, and in some cases, it can take up to 2 full payment cycles to appear. However, if your situation has changed recently, maybe you've moved into a new home, started paying more rent, or added a partner to your claim, make sure your information is fully up to date. Inaccurate details could cause delays or errors in calculating your new rate. And one more thing, if you're unsure about any part of your eligibility, you can always call Centrelink directly or visit your local service center. But remember, wait times may be long, so checking your MyGov portal is usually faster. Now, friends, before we go deeper into how this change affects your healthcare, taxes, and savings, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel. We post updates every single week, keeping you informed about pension changes, Centrelink announcements, and payment schedules across Australia. Many seniors have told us that one small update from here helped them unlock hundreds of dollars they didn't even know they were eligible for. So don't miss out. Subscribe, give this video a quick like, and share it with your friends or family who might be on the pension too. This community grows stronger when we look out for one another. My dear friends, today's update wasn't just another news story. It was a celebration. For the first time in years, the scales have tipped in favor of older Australians. Centrelink payments are rising, supplements are merging, and the total income for millions of seniors is finally catching up with the cost of living. You've worked hard all your life. You've raised families, paid taxes, built communities, and shaped this country. You deserve more than survival. You deserve security, comfort, and pride. So tonight, as you sit down to plan your week or check your MyGov account, remember this. You're part of a generation that built the foundation of modern Australia. And now, that same country is finally giving something back. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Please like this video, subscribe, and share it with other seniors who deserve to know this good news. Your support helps us continue bringing honest, simple, and helpful updates every week. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep smiling, and remember, better days are finally here for Australian pensioners.